What's going on, YouTube? This is Jay, trucker by day, and this is Carlsbad, New Mexico. If you've never seen it, here it is. We're going to go through it right now. We're actually finally heading back home to Idaho to pick up my new truck. Finally, after a year, I get to do a tour of it and all that fun stuff. It's going to be great. But, yeah, it is so hot here. Like, I grew up in Florida. I know what heat is. I know what hot is, but like, it hasn't been under 100 degrees in like 4 days in South Texas. I don't know how you do it. Catch you guys up on everything. I had to pick up in Laredo. I was stuck there all weekend. I didn't do anything except laundry and, you know, kind of hit out from the heat because it was, I think the worst it got, it was like 115 degrees. And it stayed about 106 to 112 all weekend. It was pretty terrible. It was really bad. And then, so I spent all day, literally all day. Shout out to U.S. Cold Storage in Laredo. It's terrible. If you happen to be a driver watching this, don't go there. I got into a door at 8 a.m. I left at 3:30, and then surprise, surprise, there was a problem. There was an air leak in my truck, and I don't know if you guys know this, but so in an automatic transmission on a semi, it is a major part of it functioning properly is air. It has to have an air supply to it. It is like an air shift kind of system. I don't know exactly, but I know without air, it's not going to work. So I literally sat there all day. You know, shit happens doing this, and I'm not complaining about it. I'm just filling you guys in. But so I sat there all day, and I got up to the office, got my paperwork. I'm all excited. I know I have to go home. I know I have a few things to do at home, and I have to get my new truck, which is sitting there, brand new, ready for me. But needless to say, I parked right in front of the office to get my paperwork, and I went to go in to get my paperwork, and I was gonna back up into a spot to get out of everybody's way, and it wouldn't go into gear, and my air was dipping, and I heard some air leaking from underneath my truck, but I couldn't quite get to it, and I didn't have any tools on me. So I had to call a mobile mechanic, and if you're a driver or anything, sometimes they're reasonable, sometimes they'll totally screw you over. It's kind of a gamble, so you don't really know if they're going to be on the up and up, or they're going to try to take you for every dollar you have. It's usually the latter. Like a lot of times, I can tell you in this instance, the mechanic I called, I basically just looked on Google, found the first mobile mechanic in Laredo, which it's literally right on the Mexican line. So, you know, a lot of the companies were in Spanish and stuff. So the first one to answer is like the third one I called. They came out, and come to find out, it's called a portioning valve. It's on the bottom of your air dryer. It's a separate piece that can be serviced and can be replaced. And I'm not much of a mechanic. I'm actually a lousy mechanic. I mean, maybe on my personal vehicles, but I don't know much about, a whole lot about diesel mechanics. So he tells me, the mechanic, this is my point right here. He tells me, oh, well, it's leaking out of the bottom of your air dryer. Yeah, we can't just fix the leak, so we need to replace the whole air dryer. And I don't know what it would have cost, but you're talking about a range from, I don't know, $300 maybe to $750 for the air dryer. Plus, you're talking, he would have probably charged me an hour or two of labor at $150 an hour. So it was not a good look. So I did what we're supposed to. I called our shop because we got a really good mechanic there. His name's Luke. And any kind of repair we have done on the road, if it's more than just, just something basic like a tire or, a brake or something basic, if it's anything like that, you're supposed to call, it makes sense to call and get an opinion from Luke, and he'll tell you straight out. And Luke got on the phone and he said, "Where's it leaking from?" The guy said the portioning valve. He told me, buy the portioning valve and, find a portioning valve at a Kenworth and have him replace it and save a whole bunch of money. Because if you guys have been following along at all at my channel, you know that this is literally the last run that this truck will ever do in its life. So this truck will probably get shipped back to Kenworth or to auction. It will never haul another load, not for this company. It has 486,000 miles on it. So we're not trying, the company and the agreement I have with them, I have about $1,000 a month that I can use for maintenance, breakdowns, and things like that, that the company absorbs. So they're not, that could have been a $1,200 to $1,500 repair, and it ended up being $500. So, that's Luke's job, because when you get out here on the road, especially if you're an owner operator or even a lease operator, and the company tells you, well, find somebody to get it fixed, you got to be real careful, man. You got to be so careful, because look, that guy, listen, I get it. It's life. You have to make money. I understand that. I'm not saying the guy isn't entitled to make money, but the guy knew for a fact that you could replace the portion valve on the air dryer and you'll be just fine. He knew that. He just kind of figured that I didn't know that. So, and he would be correct. I had no idea. I was like, well, if it's bad, I guess we got to replace it. I never second guessed him. I'm a driver. He's a mechanic. And like I said, our shop saved a bunch of money. So if you don't know something for sure, then you should definitely get a second opinion. And hopefully if you're with a decent enough company, you have some kind of in-house mechanic that will keep you from getting basically, screwed over. Like, I'm thinking that repair could have been anywhere from $1,200 to $1,500. It ended up being, $500, which isn't terrible, to be honest. But when I look at the receipt breakdown, so I'm the one that called Kenworth and I found the part. He didn't even really look into it or nothing. I just kind of fast-tracked it. I called Kenworth. They told me the part's $150. Actually, they said it's $147.50. I was like, all right. So I called the guy, and he said, so basically after tax, it's probably $160 maybe. So, I called him with the part, and he went and, and I told him, I know you're going to mark the part up. That's another way they make money, which, if you didn't know, that's what they do. Some of them will double the price. Some of them will charge you double just because they're there. So I knew it was $147. I'd look on the breakdown sheet. The guy said, oh, here's the price for the part. It was $180. So he only made like $20 on it. That's fine. He charged me some other nonsense, like a $60 service fee and this and that. And like I said, it ended up being $500. But needless to say, that is perfectly fine with me. So the company covered that. I finally get going. And now my sweet truck that I'm about to retire, and it's going to end up in some kind of graveyard probably, starts throwing traction control codes, starts throwing fault codes. This thing is worn out, which is kind of sad to say at $480,000. It's always had its maintenance done. I've always kept up on things like that. It's been taken care of. I never drive. I'm governed at 80 miles an hour. I've never ran this thing over 70. I don't even overspeed it. And I hardly ever get it even close to max. I mean, every once in a while. So I'm usually around 75,000 pounds. So Truck's been babied. It's just falling apart. So at a certain point, you gotta wonder. It's like, what in the world is going on? You know what I mean? So I am doing everything I can to get this thing home, get my stuff out of it, and get my new truck. This video is going to run over a few minutes, over 10. I usually keep them around 10 minutes, but I'm going to get you guys all the way through Carlsbad, so if you've never been here, you could see the rest of it. But, the bottom line is, you have to be careful out there. Not just a driver, even if you're driving your car. If you take it to a shop, and, it's just so bad with trucks. It's such a ripoff. It literally, like, that guy would have been happy. He would have slept good at night charging me $1,500 for no damn reason at all when, I could have saved money. So, you just have to pay attention. Hopefully, like I said, a mechanic in your life, or if you're a truck driver at your company, there should be some mechanic that's fairly knowledgeable. Most of our mechanic, he's been doing diesel mechanics for over 20 years. So there isn't a whole lot he doesn't know. So I absolutely hate that people think, basically that, truck drivers are stupid enough, or, drivers are just stupid enough to just go ahead and just whatever they say goes. But in the meantime, it took them about 30 minutes. Me and Rocky, it was 112 degrees. There was literally nowhere to hide from the sun, nowhere at all. We had to turn the truck off and drain all the air out for the repair. That's why I said it was so miserable. I can't wait to get to Idaho, back to Idaho. It's 75 degrees there right now. And right now it's 106. And that's moving, so it's well over 110. But yeah, disaster averted. I am feeling in a way better mood. Yesterday was so crappy. It was just such a waste of day. And luckily I got to sleep. And we're coming up on the end of Carlsbad. This is all just the residential. This is I guess you could call it kind of like a loop. I'm on the 285. It kind of goes through the middle of town and around. We are 1,200 miles from the shop and 1,200 miles from never having to do a load in this old truck again. So she's been good to me. I've made a ton of money with her, but she's reaching the end, which is sad because not too long ago, a few years ago, you didn't have the real issues with your truck to 800,000, a million, something, most of them 1,000,000 miles. And now look, this thing doesn't even have 500, which by the way is when the warranty expires and you have to pay for everything. It is just falling apart. It's simply falling apart. So it's really sad. She's been a good truck, but even now she's shifting funny. Even since I've been seeing these codes, and I did a little research on it, and one of our other drivers had one of these similar year trucks, and when the traction control light comes on, come to find out his injectors were failing, and it's just part of the computer system. It kind of kicks a code to let you know that something serious is going on. So, like I said, that's a little shot of Carlsbad, New Mexico. I am really gonna push myself. Like I said, you guys know me. I usually push pretty hard, but I'm not. I want to get this thing home and I want to get out of it. I do not want to be stuck another day in it for anything. So, that's basically it. And yeah, we're on the outskirts almost of Carlsbad, New Mexico. But let's see. So before I let you go, let's I want you guys to see something real quick, if you can, on the video. Hold on, grab my phone. That's what she's doing. Do you see? Do you see the codes? It's hard to see with the glare, but it's saying adaptive cruise control fault and traction control fault. So I'm about to pull over. I'm going to cut the truck off and start it back up. But as you guys know, with certain, with vehicles, that trick only works so many times. So we're going to get this thing home. The next time you guys hear from me, we will be doing a tour on the new truck, and we will, yeah, we will be getting out of this thing. So I'm about to pull off right now to turn this thing off. But, you know, I just want to see you guys be safe. Be careful out there and try not to let people take advantage of you, especially diesel mechanics, okay? I want you guys to be safe and successful. And my name's Jay, Trucker by Day. And I'll see you guys in the next video.